Welcome everyone to the Ubuntu Community Q&A. I'm here today with, my name is Daniel Holbach, and I'm here today with Nick Skaggs.
Hello.
Which is brilliant. We can hear him. He had some, I don't know, network, microphone, Google Hangout, something issue, but it appears to be working right now. Yeah, we're going to take all your questions today. Just let us know. If you're watching this through ubuntuonair.com, there's a big chat box below the video feed. Just put in your favorite nickname, hit the connect button, and then you can talk to us. And if you use IRC, like a regular IRC client, just point it to Ubuntu-on-air on Freenode. And there you can ask questions as well. Just make sure you prefix them with question in capital letters so we can more easily pick them up. Another thing I should mention is that we have Ubuntu on Air as an account on YouTube, on Google+, on Twitter, and elsewhere. If you subscribe or follow or circle it, whatever, you're going to stay up to date on all the upcoming shows, and you can watch all the old ones. Right. Yeah, I'm just quickly going to let people on IRC know as well how to ask questions. Just a second. In the meantime, Nick, do we have any announcements?
Well, summer code, I guess that's the recurring announcement. This is something that we mentioned in the past of the program, and you may have seen the announcements. So the quick synopsis, of course, is Google Summer Code is a way for college-age students to participate in open source communities, and you want to apply to a mentoring organization, which means we, as a community, have agreed to mentor students in various projects that oh, sorry. Let's try this again. Maybe it's there. Although you'll like my video. Anyways, so Ubuntu agreed to be a mentoring organization for Google Summer Code, and we have a bunch of mentors who are have agreed to mentor students in various projects that we have listed. However, Google still has to actually accept us as a mentoring organization, and we won't find out until next Monday. So for those who are really excited and want to participate in Google's code with two of you, either as a mentor or as a student, hang tight. We'll know in about 6 more days whether or not we've actually been accepted, and then of course we can move forward with selecting students and getting to know each other and picking out projects and all that good stuff. So it should be a good summer, and again, in about a week we'll actually know the plan. So
awesome. Yeah, can't wait. Can't wait. I already got quite a few emails from people who said, can I join your project? What do I need to do? And how long, when do they announce who's going to be part of it?
Yeah, sure. So it'll be next Monday. I'm not sure what the exact time will be, but this time next week, if you guys come and hang out for the next Ubuntu on Air, I'll be back, but if we'll make sure that whoever's hosting has all the details, so they'll be able to share it with you. But if you are interested, you can go to the community site, ubuntu.com. Under the contribute section, you'll find a link to Google Summer Code, and that has all the stuff that you need to know about Ubuntu participation. And of course, once we know if we're accepted and you know what all the projects are and that sort of thing, as a student or mentor, you can go ahead and check that site out, and it'll stay up to date. So there you go.
Awesome. Really awesome. And the great thing is we already have like huge amounts of crazy project ideas from the phone core apps team, from the Snappy team, from all kinds of teams. So it should be really good. We have a few other things coming up soon. One of them is Ubuntu Online Summit. That's going to be in the beginning of May. So just after the Xenial release, 16.04 release, where we're going to discuss like the future of the 16.10 release. So immediately after release, we plan the next one, and we get together as a community also on Hangouts on Air. That's what we use to discuss things and to figure out work items together. So if you have any topics, you will be able to raise them there. Also get involved and get to know all the folks who are working on things. I think all the other events are further down the line. For example, we're planning UbuCon Europe right now, which is going to be in Essen. But yeah, there's going to be announcements about that separately. What have you been up to lately?
Well, I was just going to say we should mention MWC, which is actually going on this week. As some folks in IRC have pointed out, Daniel and I are not live at MWC, but many other Ubuntu and Canonical folks are there, and they're showing off some cool things. So I guess we won't attempt to recreate or steal any of that thunder. But if you're curious about what's happening in Ubuntu and what's happening specifically around phones and tablets, you need to go check out some of the press releases surrounding MWC and Ubuntu. I believe today there's been some big press coverage on the tablet that was announced a few weeks ago, BQN, which is the first Convergence device running Ubuntu. It's a video I saw this morning, so go take a look. You'll find it. Energy Ubuntu has a few articles, and lots of other news outlets are now starting to get you some coverage and videos and pictures. So again, if you're curious, that's just one of the many cool things happening at MWC this week. I missed I wish I was there to see the kickball robot though.
Yeah, that's
probably my big disappointment.
That was beautiful to see. I've been watching Google Plus today, where loads of folks from Canonical and the wider Ubuntu community posted pictures. And there was this one picture where you could see like what felt like 100 people around the Ubuntu stand, and everyone was watching the little robot that was walking around and kicking the ball. Yeah, really nice device running Ubuntu as well. It's just brilliant to see how many devices and all the general vibes seems to be really good. And a few articles I read, they were also very, very positive.
Yeah, indeed. I think it is really unique. There was always the joke of Ubuntu running on my toaster, but we're starting to see more and more of that, right? Where we have literally any device is able to run Ubuntu. So we're sort of really moving out from PCs and even like devices that we would think of like a phone or a tablet, or maybe some other little embedded device on a router or something. And we're moving well beyond that into all sorts of other interesting and unique things. So it's cool. We might do around.
Yeah, we already have the fridge. We have a fridge running Ubuntu. So cool. All right. I saw. Unless Nick, do you have any other devices? Oh, like Nick just fell out of the internet. We'll just wait for him to come back. In the meantime, I saw there were a few questions already. I think I'm just going to take the first one. Pew asked, are there any games on Ubuntu phones? Yes, there are. There are loads of them, and it's just crazy to see how much work people put into. Just going to pull this up. How much work people put into putting games together. We have like loads of HTML5 games. Others put together like worked with QML and wrote their games there. Lots of existing stuff that was ported. I love it. me see if we have quite a huge list, but I could imagine that there's if you're watching for something specific, like a big name, something game that of course might be missing still. But then again, I'm not much of a games person, just playing small puzzle games every now and then. Let's see. Yeah, there's loads and loads and loads and loads and loads and loads and loads. So yeah. Yeah, I haven't heard back from Nick. He seems to be present on the call, but not talking, so we might be back to the state earlier. We can't hear him. Yeah, Nick, let us know if there's anything we can do. Okay, Iceman number 1 asked, what's the next Convergence Ubuntu phone, and how can it be done with the Meizu Pro 5? So one thing we're repeating here basically every show is that we as Ubuntu community, we put together the software for the phones and other devices, but the specific features which are going to land on phones and tablets, that's something for the device manufacturers to decide. So whenever there's questions like couldn't they put in more RAM or like when is the next device going to be announced? It's not a thing for the Ubuntu community or Canonical to decide, because that's basically something the device manufacturer has to announce and to decide on their own. So that's basically my answer. So don't expect the announcement of the next Convergence Ubuntu phone in this Hangout, because it's not our. It's basically not our business to announce it. It's something, yeah, the device manufacturers do. All right. Pew asked, should I buy the Meizu Pro 5 for my mom? She has an old Samsung right now. Candy Crush and Facebook will do. So Facebook is available on the Ubuntu phone. Somebody on IRC said that we don't have Candy Crush. I haven't confirmed this myself because I don't know, but I would imagine that there's a bunch of other games which are going to be very much like it or very similar. You should probably try it out beforehand and then see if that's what your mom expects. But in general, I think the Ubuntu phones, whichever one you're going to pick, they're quite nice phones. And if I just think of my parents, I think they would be totally fine for them. Okay, next one. Oh, nice. Andrew Hazen sent a link on IRC where you can see the category of phone games on the phone. So if you're an IRC, you can just check it out there. Okay. Yeah, here's another question. When is the M10 Aquarius Ubuntu edition available to buy in Europe? That's another one of the questions where I just don't have a good answer. I know that it's going to be sometime soon, but if that's just a few days, a few weeks, or whatever, that's something for BQ to figure out. You can try sending them an email. They're usually quite responsive. And what's really nice, and if you want to know a bit more about how things are manufactured, how devices are tested beforehand, how the designs are tested, we had a really nice Q&A with the founder of BQ. I forgot his name, but he's a really nice guy, and he's very much an engineer who can talk you through how it all works. So even if that's not going to give you the specific day of when the phone or the tablet is going to be out, it would at least illustrate like all the work that goes into making sure that everything works. So yeah, if you Google for it, you should find it easily. I think we did the interview maybe like a year ago or something. So yeah. Right, moving on. We have a question from user 20. In a recent article on Ubuntu Insights regarding the Meizu Pro 5 was the following mentioned. Recent additions to the ecosystem include Spotify and games from Play Canvas. Is anything new regarding Spotify on the Ubuntu phone which has not been made official, or do they mean the cute Spotify app which is in the store since a long time now? Okay, and user 20 also sends a link. I think I can hear Nick now. Oh no, it's David. Hey.
It's the other guy in the community team. Hi, Daniel. Hi, everyone.
Hello, Nick.
Hello. All right, let me set up the lower third.
Okay, so the link which was sent by user 20 seems to be cut off. So I can't verify this or see who launches globally. Let me see who wrote the article. Maybe we can raise it with them. No, it was written by Canonical. So yeah, I don't quite know who wrote this article, and that Spotify is something we ship on the phones, or that there's a Spotify app. This is actually the first time I hear of it, so you know as much as I do. But I guess we can find this out. We can find this out for you, and I think we should try to get somebody from the phone guys, like somebody who's actually in touch with BQ, Meizu, and the others. But we should get one of them on the show for one of the next Q&As, because there's just so much interest in what's happening there. What do you think, David?
Sorry, I was trying to get the lower third, so I didn't quite get all of what you said.
No, I just thought we should try to get somebody on the show one of the next times who's actually in touch with BQ and Meizu, and can maybe share at least a little bit about how they work together and what's planned, and if there's any new tidbits they can release somehow.
Yeah, definitely.
Have you heard of Spotify app something? It seems like
actually,
it was part of an Insights article. So, and I wasn't quite sure where the news was coming from.
Okay, I think I can share something now. As we are already at MWC this week, the Mobile World Congress. The music app guys have been working on a streaming backend for the music app on the phone, meaning that the music app should be able to support streaming services when playing music, not just your local music. One of the first streaming online services that they've implemented has been Spotify, which is now being shown as a premiere as part of the music app build that we put together for the for MWC. So that's perhaps where the question came from. And this I should also call out to Andrew Eisen and Victor Thompson, the music app developers, who have been doing an amazing job with the music app itself. Not only because of the streaming support that's being implemented, but also in providing a converged interface for the music app. If you guys have tested the music app either on the phone or on a tablet or on the desktop, it just looks fantastic, and it adapts to the form factors. It shows the currently played song on the right. It's really great. So I really encourage you to try it. And now with Spotify, for those of you who are using it, then it's even better.
Yeah, big shout out to Andrew and Victor. And Hazen Andrew Hazen is even on IRC. So
I see him now.
If you can find him there, give him a big hug. Fantastic people, both of them. Cool. All right. Coming back to the Candy Crush question from earlier, Mike Hall just said that there's Vaults Alpha, that's the name of the app, which is a knockoff of Candy Crush. So that's available in the store. Go in and try it out and see what your mom thinks of it. Right. Moving on. Pew 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 has another question, and it's, how does the side thing on the tablet work? How do you put the app there, or how do you close it, show it?
Show it. Okay. I don't think we've got any tablets with us here. We've all taken them to MWC to showcase there. To be quite absolutely honest, I haven't been playing with the side stage for quite a while, so I'm not sure I can really answer that question. I know how it used to work though. It used to be as apps used to have a default status where they would launch, either as a side stage which you could hide, swiping to the right, or you could then close them as a normal app. So you could have like a wide view app running, and then you could swipe. Let me see. You could swipe from the left to reveal the previous side stage app. That's what it looked like last time I looked at it.
Yeah, just remember that I tried it out on the desktop, and it was some specific apps which would launch in the side stage, like the settings, because it has quite a fixed size, so it fits in quite well there. And the other one was Sudoku, so you can always watch a movie and play Sudoku at the same time, which makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think that's the primary use case for a tablet, right?
Yeah, absolutely, playing Sudoku and watching YouTube.
Brilliant. Excellent. All right, that's all the questions we had up until now. Keep them coming. When Nick and I were talking earlier, we talked about the Summer of Code, about MWC, about Ubuntu Online Summit coming up. Did you have any announcements or things you would like to share?
I think one of the interesting things that are happening right now, other than the preparation for the Ubuntu Online Summit, are also the preparations for UbuCon Europe. Essentially, we've just finished an UbuCon and we're planning the next one already, which is really cool. And when I say we, I don't mean the community team at Canonical, but we've got an awesome team of community enthusiasts that have taken the torch of doing the next UbuCon in Europe. That's going to be in Essen, in Germany, in November, we've had the first meeting. I think it was 2 weeks ago, where we all got together to look at the work items, what we need to do for planning the event. That doesn't mean that planning hasn't started yet. There's a very, very active Telegram group for the organizers, where they have been essentially taking care of all of the logistics beforehand. We've got a venue. It's called the Unperfect House. That's in Germany. Daniel, does it translate directly really as the unperfect house?
Imperfect house. Yeah, that's what I would say as well. Yeah.
There you go. So we've got it's a good venue. There's lots of rooms in the venue, which I think gives us a lot of flexibility for what we want to do. I think it will be nice to have some workshops there, or more than 2 tracks even going on in parallel. So I think we've got an opportunity for having quite a lot of interesting content in there. We want to want to start announcing this soon so that people can start looking at flights. Again, this is going to be UbuCon Europe, even though it's in Germany. The content is going to be in English, and we're expecting and we'll be really welcoming people from all over. Well, I was going to say all over Europe, but actually all over the world. But I know that that it being then it will be easier for people who live in countries nearby to come along.
Yeah, and it's sorry.
No, go on, Daniel.
Just thought I would make it clear that it's while we have already a team of people who are taking care of it, and the community team is somehow involved. We want this to be a lot of a do-it-yourself kind of event. So if you think this is a great opportunity for your team or your sub-community or whatever you do in Ubuntu, if you and your pals, if you want to get together and take a few hours to discuss a bunch of things, or invite others to share the stuff you've been working on, or do a workshop or something, just let us know. Like, this is all stuff we can still accommodate. So the more the merrier.
Excellent. All right. And then some people noticed that I was going to say, stay tuned for information on ubucon.org. Some people mentioned that ubucon.org is down right now. We're working on bringing it online as soon as possible. The challenge this week is that everyone is at MWC, the Mobile World Congress, so it's taking a bit longer than usual, but expect to have a new, well, not a new, but ubucon.org back online very, very soon.
Cool. Yeah, talking about UbuCons, if you and your team were always talking about making like a really big event happen in your country, in your city, I would suggest you bring it up on the Ubuntu Community team mailing list or the local contacts mailing list, all hanging out there. We're always happy to hear what your thoughts are, what you've planned, and also get involved and help you out with it.
Cool. All right. We've got another question on IRC. So Pew is asking, what would you guys like to see improved on Ubuntu phone? Better design, faster apps loading time, etc. I think you've picked up some of the favorites actually. I mean, I myself, and again, I'm speaking personally as an Ubuntu phone user. I'm really happy with the design, to be honest. I know that there's always improvements you can do, and I also know that I'm not a designer. So I myself, for the user and I'm doing of the phone, I really wouldn't touch anything on the design. Faster apps loading time, yeah, I think that would be something that I would wish as well. It's something that we're looking at. Also, mind you, on newer phones than, for example, the first one that we launched, the BQ 4.5, which is actually my phone. Performance should be much better as well. And I think the way to switch between scopes and apps might be something to look at as well, especially for new users who might not be familiar with the Ubuntu interface.
Yeah, I myself would probably say something similar as David. There's a few things when it comes to design where things could be improved. For example, if I'm trying to call somebody, it just takes too many clicks. Like, nobody nowadays types numbers anymore. So just having like a quick list of the 5 people I call all the time, like that would solve like a lot of my use cases. That would speed things up a little bit. Yeah, in general, I think there's a lot of speed optimization that can still be done, but in general, if you just consider how many people are working on the software for the phone, I think we're doing very, very well. Like it's and it's also like we're basically one of the few who are doing this openly, transparently. You get to see all the stuff that is landing. So I think what we're doing is pretty special anyway, so, or pretty special already. So I'm not complaining too loudly.
All right, cool. And there's a side conversation going on IRC as well. I see Fayanil, that's Andrea Bernabel. Is one of the phone developers actually. He's giving inside knowledge on IRC as well. So thanks a lot.
Yeah, they're figuring out what exactly is going to land in OTA 10 and OTA 11. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Oh, one thing that I wanted to mention, we've got another question. I'm going to take it in a minute. One thing that I wanted to mention as well is that you, even having been a phone user for quite a while now, you always knew, you always learn new stuff. For example, playing with the address book apps today, I realized that since a couple of OTAs, we can import contacts from the SIM card, not just from Google Contacts, which is pretty cool. But yeah, what I wanted to mention is that these last few weeks I've been looking more closely at two applications, which are really, really good ones, and we're considering to add them by default on new OTAs. These were Deco, the email app created by Dan Chapman, and UNAV. UNAV is the navigation app created by Marcos Costales, and they both look amazing. I mean, when you think of these are applications created by people that were using their spare time to develop them, and to see the level of detail, the level of good design as well that they've put into these applications. To me, it's really reinvigorating to see the passion that people are putting at developing apps for Ubuntu. And not only that, but quite often these applications, that's actually something that Marcos told me when we were talking about UNAV. The fact that these applications were born out of the fact that there wasn't something like this anywhere else, as in UNAV, for example. It's in some aspects it's much more simpler than Google Maps, for example. Or just to pick another example, I'm not sure if you guys listen to podcasts, but if you do check out Podbird. It's a podcast application in Ubuntu that was created by Nicholas Ramanathan and by Michael Sheldon. And I mean, just to see that a podcast application is much, much better in Ubuntu than on whatever is on on iPhone or Android. That's really, really cool. I mean, that reminds me every day where it's cool to be working on Ubuntu.
Absolutely. Right, well, another question about the phone, a bit more technical question. User 20 asked, would it be possible with Ethercast to use the Ubuntu phones which don't have MHL as desktop PCs, or will Ethercast just mirror the screen of the phone? Just looked it up. MHL is mobile high definition link, and it apparently doesn't seem to be the same as Mirrorcast, which I think is what Ethercast is doing, but I'm just guessing here. Do you have any more details?
No, I'm not an expert on this. I mean, I know that we're working on getting wireless displays working for the Convergence story, especially for those phones which don't have like physical interface, such as MHL or what's it called? It's not DisplayPort, the Nexus output. Anyway, yes, exactly, a slim port. But I cannot really tell you the details because I'm not that deep into it. Perhaps Final can tell you a bit more on IRC, and if so, then we'll mention it out loud on the Hangout.
Yeah, we already got some feedback from Faniel for some of the questions earlier. So that some parts, for example, that the SDK team is progressively moving QML UI components to C++. So, for example, the page stack implementation, so that should already give some speed benefits. So looking forward to seeing that land. Do we have some measurements somewhere? Something that is done as part of the continuous integration?
I don't know. I'm not that much into day-to-day work with the SDK team anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
I think we need to ask them.
Yeah. All right. What's the next one?
PewPew is asking, have you guys played with the Pro 5? How is it? Is it much faster than the MX4? I personally haven't played with it, but I'll just do a bit of a show off, and I'll tell you that I've played with the Fairphone 2 that Marius Gripsgard has been working on creating a port, and it's looking fantastic. We've got a few blockers which we're working on, or the Marius is working on right now, but it's really good. Okay, there's another question from Sponge. Is it possible to do VPN on the phone easily? I have not tried it myself. Do you know, Daniel?
No, I don't. I don't think there's an option right now. But I seem to remember some discussion on the phone mailing list. Should we ask Mathieu or what's his name again? Yeah, never mind. I think we can find out. But I don't know when it's going to land.
Okay.
I could just imagine that it's probably not too crazy high on the priorities list.
Yeah. Okay. Next question, or shall I say next comedy question from Sponge. This seems to be a recurrent one on every single Q&A every week. Question, is there any news with the HUD? I'm not sure what we said last week, Daniel, but as far as I know, we're continuously looking at new ways of interfacing with the phone. It's not high on the priority list again, but it's something that we're still looking at.
It's really interesting to watch IRC right now, because it looks like all the experts for all the questions, they're on IRC. They should be on here. It's something we need to fix. So first of all, there was one update saying that we're going to see some speed improvements if you compare OTA 7 to OTA 10, for example. We also heard that OTA 10 might bring a UI for VPN configurations. And there was one answer about Ethercast, and it was hardware acceleration with Ethercast is being tested these days. It looks promising and should bring seamless convergence capabilities to phones with enough resources. It was from David Caillet, and the comments earlier were from Andrea. Yeah, thanks a lot, guys.
Excellent. All right, next question is from Andrew Eisen. Have you seen XDG app sandboxing for GNOME app sandboxing? How much does it differ from Snappy app confinement? differences such as AppArmor versus SE Linux, etc. Will Snappy be able to support an XDG app, or will Snapcraft be able to automatically package one as a Snap? Good question. I'm not a security expert, so I'm not sure I can answer much of it. I mean, what I can tell you is my hunch is that well, I'm pretty certain that we'll keep investing on AppArmor. I'm not sure how deep into the XDG app design SE Linux is embedded. So I'm guessing that support for SE Linux or anything that's not AppArmor might be again low on the priority list. But I think for these we would need someone from the design team and someone from the desktop team and someone from the security teams. I'm sure that the security guys have looked into that as well.
Yeah, I'm quite sure. I saw a summary somewhere, but I can't quite remember what it said. What I know is that with Snappy we use AppArmor and SecCom and other security technologies, and I could imagine that it's not going to be 100% straightforward to just copy something over or fiddle around with a few things and then have the app working. But surprise us. Just write a script that turns XDG app into a Snap. Sure. But yeah, we should probably get somebody from the Snappy team on to answer some of those questions. Yeah, we should probably we should do that. We should invite some of the Snappy guys actually to the next Q&A. All right, next question from Sponge. Could we have a shout out for the Ubuntu App Showdown subreddit? So yes, of course, here it is. So if you go to reddit.com/r/Ubuntu App Showdown, then you'll be able to see all of the discussions that are going on related to writing apps for Ubuntu. I'd like to add another shout out as well. We've got another group on or rather another community on Google Plus for Ubuntu app developers. That's that's the name of it, Ubuntu app developers on Google Plus. So in either of these channels, you'll be able to talk to fellow app developers, to ask your questions, and to actually help with other people with their questions. Right, wasn't the question from Sponge? Why, if distribution is so important to Canonical, can you not buy an Ubuntu DVD from the Canonical online store? I don't know. I'm actually looking at the store right now. I'm not sure what I haven't looked at it in a while. But I thought you could. Oh, right. Yes, you can, but they're out of stock right now. I think one of the, I think given the fact that 1604 is so close right now, we're looking at, rather than restocking for 1404, to prepare the 1604 DVDs. Also, yes, of course, distribution is important, but you have to think as well that most of the installations come from either downloads on the Ubuntu.com site or from AWS or other cloud providers. Installed. Yeah, and it doesn't make too much sense to press CDs from the non-LTS or interim or regular releases. They feel old very quickly, so it just makes sense to print LTS. Exactly, and we don't print CDs in big masses right now because of the costs as well. I mean, you have to create them, you have to send them, and nowadays, as I say,
I mean, we do still have them available for people who actually want to have the physical support, and also for local teams when they're organizing their release parties, their UbuCons, or any other events. But ultimately, the widest way of distribution is online nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we could add a pre-order button. Maybe that would work. Just send me the next LTS once it's available, but usually I want to install something right now and not in a few weeks.
Exactly.
But anyway, moving on. Another question from Sponge. Which PPA that you know of can alter the laptop fan speed on Ubuntu? I'm not quite sure if this is a joke question, because if it is, like one thing that does it regularly for me to change the laptop fan speed is turning on Google Hangouts. It usually drives my CPU utilization up to, I don't know, 200% or something, like 2 cores easily. So, but I'm not sure if that's what you were after. Usually, the settings we have in stock Ubuntu, they should be so that, you know, the laptop fan speed, or the what they called again, the different CPU settings, the different speed settings, like they should be adjusted to the current workload. So if they're not, if you find they're completely out of tune, file a bug report. We really shouldn't you shouldn't have to add another PPA just to make the fan or the CPU work correctly. That's wrong.
Yeah. All right. Another question is also from Sponge. Should or is there an UbuCon Snappy app? There isn't, and that's actually a really good idea, to be honest. Regardless of whether it's Snappy or phone or wherever, I think it'd be really nice to have an application that that can list the talks that are going on at the UbuCon, to know the dates, the times. I think that'd be quite cool. Actually, we might look into it for this UbuCon Europe planning.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Are there any user 20 asked? Are there any plans to support voice over IP on Ubuntu phone? What's it called again? Sorry, I was just trying to think of the name of a project. I saw them at Scale. We were working on a voice over IP solution, and it was also written in Qt. And I think somebody said they were looking into porting it over, but I can't quite remember the name of it. It was also an open source solution.
No, to be honest.
It might come back to me in a bit. I'll let you know.
Okay. All right. AMP is asking, what is the situation of the Ubuntu Arabic font? What is the plan to set it as default in the Ubuntu UI? I have reported many design bugs, but it seems the development is quite slow or dismissive of some suggestions. A couple of months ago, actually, we started testing the new set of fonts for the Ubuntu phone, these being Arabic and Hebrew. At that point, what we were looking at was feedback from users. I'm not sure if you were part of that group when we did the call for feedback. So let us know if there's any particular feedback that you guys sent us and didn't get taken into account, and we'll make sure that it gets to the designers. But right now, I think the most important part is, and Nick Skaggs was involved in coordinating the testing, just confirms that, is that the new release of the Ubuntu phones for 16.04 including Arabic and I believe also Hebrew, will be landing on 1604, which is really good news. And something else that that Nick is asking: currently, everything is updated in Chennai, and progress can be slow as design is an instant thing. But I'm guessing, and I haven't tried it myself, you can test this already on Ubuntu 16.04 if you are one of those brave souls that do upgrades before release. Though I must say 16.04 has been working really, really solidly for me so far. Or you can spin off a virtual machine and try it there.
Sponge is also asking, what do you think about the $3 Android phone that could be delivered within a week to your door from India? And also gives a link to it. I think I read an article this morning said that it might be part of a bigger scam, so not to be taken seriously. $3 for an Android phone sounds bizarre, even with you know, things like the Raspberry Pi, which really brought like good electronics with a very cheap price to your home. But even there, like it sounds bizarre. So I would probably wait another few weeks to see how the story unfolds. Yeah, that would be my suggestion.
Okay, cool. So we're nearing at the end of the hangout. If you've got any other questions, we still have time for a couple of more. If not, Daniel, do we have any final announcements to make in the meantime?
No, I think we went through all the events which are coming up right now.
Cool.
Also told people to follow all the Ubuntu on Air accounts they can find. So I think we should be fine on that one. I'm still trying to find out what the name of the VoIP solution was.
I guess we can send it later over
Yeah.
ours. I don't know myself. Sorry. All right then. So I think since we don't have any more questions for today, I think we can wrap it up a few minutes earlier. So thanks everyone for joining us. Thanks everyone for the good questions. And thanks for everyone who actually helped us answering the questions live on IRC. That was really, really useful. So it's always good to have the experts there talking to anyone who wants to know more directly.
Yeah, basically what David said. I really enjoyed all the lively discussion. Maybe next time, if you're an expert on a certain subject and want to join the call, just give us a ping. Like, we're always happy to have guests.
Excellent. All right. And then just to wrap up, finally saying, Daniel, perhaps you meant telepathy.
No, it was something different.
All right then, cool. We'll make sure that we update the calendars as well to answer the last question. I haven't checked if it's empty or not, but yeah, essentially you can expect, unless there's something exceptional coming, you can expect a Q&A every week at the same hour.
Yeah.
All right then.
All right.
Thanks everyone. Thanks a lot.
Thanks. Take care.